What is up, everybody? It's me, Duke Farley, back at it again here on Lost at Sea. And tonight I am joined by the 8th Juror, fourth placer of Ascendance Live Season 4. I'm here with Rocky. Rocky, what is up? How are you?
What's going on? I just noticed 8th juror, fourth, fourth person. Like that's like eight is my magical number, so I guess that's like a good thing.
That works out perfectly then.
What's going?
Um,
Hey
Thank you.
everybody.
Hey, thank you so much for joining me this evening. I have a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun watching you, obviously, this season, and I am excited to ask you some questions about your journey here. And the first one, I wanted to start off with one. I just want to give you some kudos, Rocky. You killed those endurance competitions. I mean, you started off running, and nobody caught up to you.
Only I could have won. I won stuff for the team, but I wish I could have just won something for myself. But thank you, I appreciate that. It put a big target on my back, because like I just thought I was just like gonna kill every physical thing, which I kind of did. But yeah, it put a huge target on my back. It's like being a physical person.
Yeah. Were you surprised that you were like kind of running laps around most of the contestants?
I mean, don't want to toot my own horn, but I did run track, and even though like I am a heavy smoker, like that's like the one thing I do have like the physical abilities. So not too surprised, but I thought like somebody would have been. I mean, there were people there who I felt like they were super physical as well. Like there was like a few of us, me, Ozzy, I think Kira was pretty good too. So yeah, I think I had some stiff competition.
But you definitely dominated that portion of the game. So I just wanted to start off with a little bit of kudos for you on that. Wanted to ask you, I spoke with Josh last night and I wanted to ask you, I asked him about the beef going in and what was going on. And he said it stemmed from an org game that you guys had played. So I wanted to get your side of, I guess, what was going on with just like when you saw him there, like what was going on in your head. Obviously not great. Did,
Uh, Yeah, like when I instantly like walked in, I think I noticed maybe Taylor first, and then I instantly seen Josh, and I was just like, "Fuck!" Like I don't want to play with this guy. Like we just got off on a really bad foot, and what he said in his confessional was true. Like I told him, like if I ever see you in person, like it's fuck you. Like I don't like you as a person. We had a really bad going in a game in an org. So I wasn't excited to see Josh like at all.
yeah. Um, I'll have some more questions on that as we go, through this interview. But yeah, interesting to see that kind of dynamic right off the bat. I want to obviously you had a great first couple episodes. You really kind of integrated yourself in there well socially. Um, but I want to start off where you make your first kind of splash in the game, and that's where you decide to use the power that you found to join the votes of Billy's elimination.
Right.
Kind of just wanted to ask you, um, decision to use that there, and um, had you prepped anybody else on that? Who had you prepped that you were going to be doing that um, for that specific vote?
Well, with that, like my reasoning, was simply because like I wanted to really work with Billy, with the org community being so big but so small, like we kind of like know each other. I've hosted Billy before, like I've gotten close to him, so like I wanted to work with him, but I seen that there was like a Billy kind of like had a hold on a lot of people. Everybody wanted to kind of follow Billy. So I just felt the need to step in. Like it kind of hurt. But like I seen that he was like the glue to what I guess was like the other side at this time that I couldn't break through. So I just felt like it was like a good like a basically like blow up the game. That's how I took it. Because Billy was like a focal point of like everybody in the house at that point. So like I just felt like I needed to do something like that. And I don't really honestly remember. It's so crazy. Like that weekend, that week was like such a blur. So much happened. I know Taylor knew that I had it. And I kind of like prepped her on like, hey, like I think it's time to like make a move now. And then like as it kept like leading up to elimination, I would like let little people know like you didn't get to see it. Y'all didn't get to see it in the show, but I like let Sarah know like right like literally 5 seconds before like, they were calling us. Like, I was like, Sarah, I got you. Don't worry. I'm gonna use this power. And she was just like, what power? I was like, don't worry, you'll see. Like,
Yeah. So were you shocked that that vote was it tied and it was so close?
I honestly was. There was some people that I talked to that I thought like, hey, like which way you voting? Just like this is before I even like officially used it. Just like wanted to just like get in the know of seeing like where it was going. And I just thought it was gonna be like a maybe like my vote would tip the scale. I did not think it was going to tie actually.
Yeah. And then the whole debauchery afterwards, were you just like, what the hell's going on? You know, he's calling him out for having the pendant. Were you surprised that Josh does that?
I want to say I'm not surprised, but I kind of was because, like, for me, if that was me, I would
Yeah.
have tried to at least like protect Billy as long as I could to show him, like, hey, I didn't tell anybody about this thing, so you may like want to use it on me at some point, like use it as like a leverage. So I was kind of surprised, but honestly, that was like seriously a tipping point for me because like I would have been telling Billy like so many things. And I did not know that. And the fact that Josh knew this and I did not know, I was like, okay, Billy has to go. Like he obviously has people closer to him that I than me. But not knowing once I seen the episode that they actually found it together. And that's the only reason Billy kind of trusted Josh at this moment. I just wish he would have like at least let me know because I feel like Billy was trying to bridge this gap between me and Josh, and I feel like if he would have let me know, I probably would have just probably at that point let Sarah go because I would have felt like okay, like at least us three have this thing, and then I would have had leverage over both of them. Like, oh, they knew this thing, and like I got pulled into it. Like, so yeah,
Yeah. It's interesting your relationship with Billy that you mentioned, and then I think it was a great like it ended up being a great move for you. Like you were able to kind of branch onto the other side and let that other side kind of eat itself.
yeah. I think taking Billy out kind of had the other side frazzled because it didn't seem like the Emilys and the CJs were gonna like technically work with the people I was working with at the time. So like it kind of like sent them into like a spiral, which was I think was great.
Yeah. Um, Rocky, how easy was it for you to convince Rory to give you that other half of the pendant? We didn't really get much of that discussion, but walk us through
Honestly,
that.
I didn't really have to. Rory trusted me. Like I didn't have to convince him at all. There was actually a moment where like I found that other half, and I was like, "Oh shit! Like I need to find the other half." And Taylor's like, "Rory has it, dummy." And I'm like, "Oh yes, Rory does have it. Like I'm so stupid." So like I just told Rory like, "Hey, I found the other half," and he was like, "I'll give you my half because I don't want it." And I was just like, "That was like super easy." So it actually was no push and pull. Rory like really, really, really trusted me. So shout outs to Rory.
Yeah, shout outs to Rory. I when we were talking about the episode where Rory ends up going home, it seemed like you were pretty much the only one in the boat to save him at first, and then you kind of let because the tides were going, everybody was voting out Rory at that point. But would you say he was like a good ally of yours up until the point he gets eliminated?
I would say that Rory's very emotional. Rory, you know this. And so he can be a lot at sometimes, but the loyalty there, I think Rory was one of like besides Taylor, Rory's probably one of my closest and most loyal allies that I had. I just think that it was like time to let him go because of the pendant, me and him being connected to the pendant, and then also just like the emotionalness. Like sometimes I think that's kind of what got him got was just like uh just being like in the emotions of it all instead of like just having his head in the actual game. So like it was kind of a liability. Sorry, Rory, you know I love you. But it's kind of like a liability. And I just like that was like the whole reason that I even told Josh about the pendant because I just there was a point where Rory was like begging me to use the pendant on him because he just swore it was gonna be him. And I was like, it's gonna be Ali. Like, do not worry, it's gonna be Ali. And it like he was just like so sketchball. I was like, it seems as though people talk to Josh, so let me talk to Josh before somebody else talks to Josh that I have this. So that was literally the only reason because people have asked me multiple times, true. Why did I do that? Especially when I had this vendetta with Josh. We never really worked together this entire game. So like why would I do that? It was literally because I was nervous that Rory was going to tell before I had the chance to. So yeah, after and now once that happened, and I realized I was like, I kind of should have honestly let Rory go that round. Maybe pinned him out. It would have been fucking evil, but I feel like I probably should have let him go that round because it probably would have took a little bit of like I don't know. So after the game, there's so many things that go through your head,
Yeah.
like what you could have done.
Yeah, it's funny that you bring that up because that was going to be my next question. That episode where you tell Josh about having the pendant of power. I had Sandy on that episode and he was like, I don't know why he did that. And I was like, I don't know why he did that either, Sandy. But it's good to get clarity on the reasoning. It seemed like you were kind of worried that somebody else was going to clue Josh in on that before you, and that would have been good for you.
Yeah, and the only person that knew in our vote was Rory, and because he was freaking out so goddamn bad, it just like it spooked me, and I was just like, let me. And in hindsight, I wish I would have at least told Sarah and Ozzy first, so that way Josh couldn't have told them. I think it would have like made them feel closer to me. But I don't know, it was something about Josh. I was like, and he was safe too, so I was like, let me tell Josh because I feel like if he finds out from anybody else, it's gonna flip on me, and it still flipped on me.
Yeah. Did you have any like? Did you? I mean, that vote it was like 4-2, right? Ollie leaving. Did you have any like? Maybe I just don't play it.
I did, um, but I knew next round it was gonna be all about me having this pendant. And I just didn't want that to be like me fighting for my life for like at least 2, 3 rounds. Just basically threatening people like vote for me if you want to. I'll use this. And then like it's like a 50-50 thing whether I stay or go because I'm just like teetering the line. So like there was a big thought in my head, like just Ali's going. So like don't use it. But I told Sarah and Ozzy afterwards, I was like, hey, I didn't want to keep this in my pocket because I just felt like it would have been like it was had a target in my back. And they honestly admitted, like, yeah, it probably would have. Even like from them, because like they just felt like, why would you tell Josh and not tell us if we're supposed to be your allies? So yeah, I think I just had to get rid of it. So I wouldn't have had this big ass target on my back.
Yeah, and also during that round, it seemed like Josh was trying to go for you, and he was talking to Sarah and Ozzy about potentially, blindsiding you. But they didn't want to do that. So I think that was a kudos on you again for your social connection with those people.
Yeah, but still, I was nervous at that point because I knew once Josh told them and they came to me, that was a thought in their head, like either
Yeah.
flush it or vote him out with it. Because like they were like a power team. And I was two of them, and it only really took Josh and like Ali, who knew he was like on the chopping block, to just flip on me, and it could have been an easy just knock me out. So I'm glad I did use it just in case, but I am kind of like I kicked myself. I was like, damn, I could have like at least saved it and used it as leverage. Because to be full transparency, and I told everybody this on the cast, like afterwards, and stuff like as we're talking, I kind of knew my position in the game at this point. I did not, I don't think, and this may be a little like cocky, but I know at this point, I did not need a pendant. I did not need to have it for myself. That was going to be used for anybody that I felt like I needed to help, save, gain some favor with. I had always intended on using that on somebody else. It just sucks that like and that's why I told Josh. I was like, I would have honestly probably used that on him just to shake shit up, just to make some crazy ass thing happen. I don't know who I would have used it on, but it could have been used on anybody. And I'm being so honest. I don't think I would have ever used that on myself. Because I just don't think I needed it.
So, like at that point in the game, did you feel like that group? We see the group of the six, right? And then we see the group within the six of the four, the final four that ultimately is the final four. Did you feel like that was coming together like at that point, and you felt pretty comfortable then at that point?
I did. Um, I will say after our elimination and that double, and then I see Kira go, it kind of made me doubt like AJ and Taylor a bit because I thought that Kira was going to be in our group. Um, so it kind of made me wary of them just a little bit, but I still ultimately trusted them. So like it was building before that, but I think once Kira left and then that crazy double round, it just brought us closer.
Yeah. Would you say like in that group that the person that you trusted the most was one of Taylor or AJ, or would you say it was maybe Marcella?
I'm gonna say all three. Like, and I know that's crazy, like, but it was like spread across. Again, like I kind of like knew my position. Of course it was Taylor first because like we just like instantly had our thing when we came in. Me and Marcelo have history, so like there was a thing with us. And then I just like really bonded with AJ. So like there was like kind of like a spread even across like you kind of know me, Duke. So like I kind of just like kind of stayed in that because like everybody thought I was their number one. So and I they kind of like I was loyal to all three of them. So like I kind of just like try to stay like in good graces with all of them, letting them know like y'all are my people. I kind of like brought the group together in a sense. I think that Taylor, I feel like all of them were working together separately. But I was like, hey, I like all y'all. Let's come together, kind of thing.
How tough was it for you when AJ gets, pendant of power out of the game?
It hurt. Like seriously, I did not see that come. I don't think any of us seen that coming like whatsoever. And I don't want to say it threw a big wrench in my game, but AJ, as y'all seen at that point, AJ was like my secret duo. Like Taylor was kind of like out there. Me and Marcelo were like talking, but AJ, that was like my secret man. So it really, really hurt for me to just like have him go out because I was like, damn, I have to find another secret person. And then enters Rory.
Yeah. So you didn't have to find someone too long because he comes right back in.
Yeah, so I was like, and like as you see in the episode when he came in, like I was like super,
You were
super
hyped.
happy.
Yeah.
I thought that like it was gonna be us like to the end, honestly.
Rocky, what was in Sarah's notebook that was so threatening?
Honestly, I feel like Sarah was just taking notes on like because like while we're there, at least I know for our season, to make sure that we know what's going on so we can like because again like it's so much that happens in like a short amount of time like within a day there's like 3 or 4 people leaving or maybe even more than that so like to keep track of everything like after rounds are over when we have downtime we write everything down like this happened it just looked like Sarah had like notes upon notes upon notes, like where the rest of us had like maybe like a couple pages, but Sarah had like a fucking notebook and like she had been taking notes for like years on this game and it scared the shit. Like I didn't not just me, other people, but I was just like, Sarah, she's a smart cookie. Like she's paying attention to everything. And me, I'm not good at that final competition of like knowing who did what, this, that. Like I'm a very social kind of player. So like people like that scare the shit out of me who can like have great memories, who remember every goddamn thing. I cannot do that. So that is simply why Scara.
There you go.
Scara. I love you.
Hashtag Scara.
Hashtag Scara. That's why Sarah scared the shit out of me. Like I just was like, she's a powerhouse player, just like thinking and like logically and just like her brain is amazing. So like I just had to pull that trigger.
And you kind of spearheaded her ultimate blindside. Did you feel any friction between the pieces that you had to put into place for that vote on not wanting to do it that early, or did you feel like that was just pretty much a smooth blindside, all the way around?
Well, first, I will take credit. Me and Marcelo together, because Marcelo pushed me in front of a bus. We came up with that together, but yes, I will take credit for that because I just like again I seen Sarah as like a huge threat. It kind of freed up Ozzy just a little bit, even though I knew like Ozzy was probably like my biggest competition as far as like threat level. But honestly, it's it seemed kind of seamless, honestly. I feel like I had Ozzy's trust. Taylor was my partner in crime. Me and Marcelo came up with the whole thing, and Josh was like desperate not to go. So like it kind of like all just like fell into place, and then AJ just kind of just like went with it. So yeah, it didn't seem hard at all, but it was stressful just like sitting there basically lying to her knowing that like I'm gonna blindside you like in like 15 minutes so it that was probably like the first real time that I cried. I got emotional because like I had built a bond with Sarah. Like I really I knew the loyalty was there. I just felt like it was time to start making moves. Even though like, I did make the Billy move, like the end game moves, like I feel like I needed to like do something to at least solidify myself a little bit further. And we all kind of knew Sarah and Ozzy, no matter what they say, like they didn't like, hey, we're gonna be a duo, but it kind of just like it kind of happened, and we just knew like they were not gonna cut each other. There was like we had a blind side one or the other first. Because if they got too far together, that was basically two votes locked in, and we'll never be able to break that up. So
Yeah.
yeah, it hurt really bad, but like I felt like it needed to be done.
I thought it was super smart. After that happened, I gave you again kudos because I was like, I feel like Rocky really wants Josh gone here, but I think he's making the smart move in voting Sarah out. Um, was that ever in your like head like, I can't believe I'm letting Josh go one more round in this game?
It was, and it also was in my head, like, what if Josh just like goes to Sarah and flips this all on me? Like Rocky's trying to get you out. But I don't know. Like I felt in that moment like we had at least made a deal for that round. And I felt like in my heart, I just felt like he was gonna stick to it. So it was a very nervous feeling. But yeah, I think it went off without a hitch.
Was there any doubt in your mind that between when Josh leaves and when Ozzy leaves, obviously everybody votes for those two at those eliminations. Did you have ever have any doubt that um people within that group of four were going to turn on one another?
At that moment, no. Honestly, I felt like the four was solid. I do like AJ's very perceptive. So I felt like he kind of knew like Taylor, Rocky, and Marcelo are a little closer. So there was like a little, maybe like a pinch of doubt, like AJ might try to flip and like
Yeah.
play both sides and like like do what he needs to do to make sure because AJ was kind of like a hot target just because he's won so much and he came back and so like I know he was very nervous but I honestly trusted that group of four like wholeheartedly.
Yeah. So those votes go pretty easily. Ozzy, then Josh. Um, and then we get to this final four where you're ultimately pinned against Taylor in a face-off. I have a couple questions about that. Were you surprised that AJ was so gung ho on voting you? Like he was dead set on it.
I was super surprised that AJ was like dead set on me because there was a moment where AJ comes like maybe like right after he comes back he kind of lets me know and this is where my wheels started turning because I've been asked this question a lot, why did I turn on Taylor? AJ AJ comes back in and he lets me know that jury house or like everybody that's there at this moment like during the battle back they're talking, and Taylor and Rocky, Taylor, Rocky, Taylor, Rocky, Taylor, Rocky. And I'm just like, how did people see that? I thought we were a little bit sneakier. But it also just like made me think like, Cutter. Like, if everybody thinks that we're running together, I know how this goes at the end. They're gonna, if me and her make it to the end together, they're gonna pick our games apart because they were similar. And it's basically best person standing. And at this moment, I'm feeling in my head that Taylor, I've kind of been in the not really the background, but I feel like in my mind, Taylor has a little bit more leeway than me. Taylor's been a little bit in more groups. She has a way more tea than I have. Taylor was coming to me with so much tea. So like I just felt like Taylor had a better chance at winning against me. So like it just was like I'm gonna have to cut her. Like I know we're gonna make it to the final four. And if I do not win that challenge, if one of us, me, Marcelo, or her, do not win this challenge, I'm gonna have to come for her because I feel like everybody's gonna compare me to her and vice versa. So I have to get her before she gets me. Not realizing that Taylor was not coming for me. I'm just like, get Taylor, get Taylor, get Taylor. So yeah, I don't even know what your original question was too, but
No,
yeah,
no,
like
that's good
that final
insight.
four, I kind of just like was like I didn't understand why AJ was going to vote for me because I thought that we had built this rapport. I thought that I was like checking in with him enough. I thought, but to him, I wasn't. He felt like when he came back in the house, I kind of wasn't giving him like as much time as I gave him when he was there the first time. Which, I mean, I guess fuck up on me. I thought I was doing the best that I could. Like checking in with him and stuff. But yeah, like I was taken aback that AJ was just like, "Hey, I'm gonna vote for you." And I was like, "Damn!" Like I thought that we were like closer than that. I'm telling you, Taylor's like the person to take out. Like take her out. Like could be me, you, and Marcelo. Like let's do this. But again, you learn stuff after it's over. I learned that Taylor and AJ had a thing that I had no idea about. And I learned that Marcelo and AJ had a thing that I had no fucking idea about. Well, I mean, what I did because like AJ had told me like that's gonna he talked to Marcelo. He really likes Marcelo, so I kind of knew them two had this thing, but I had no idea that AJ and Taylor were as close as they were. Like I was completely mystified by that. So yeah, kudos to Taylor and AJ for that because y'all really held y'all secret duo down. I had no idea.
If AJ loses that competition, he's gone, right?
In my mind, yes. He was like the comp beast at the moment. But to be very fair, only reason is because I had this thing with Taylor and Marcelo, and I think I've told everybody this on the cast. If I was in the final three, completely throwing it because I knew that I had Taylor and I had Marcelo. One of them were going to take me to the end. So in my mind, that was what I wanted. But I told AJ, and I was very serious. I was not scared to sit next to him because I also know that people pick comp beasts apart. They'll just be like, "You're a comp beast," and I just felt like I could have talked over him had I made it to that point. So I was never scared to sit next to him, but I was just loyal to Marcelo and Taylor. So if one of us would have won that competition, I was wholeheartedly going to push AJ out so that way I had the best chance of being picked for the finale.
Say you win the face off, you eliminate Taylor, and it's you, Marcelo, and AJ in the final three. And would you still have thrown the competition then?
At this point, no, because I feel like AJ and Marcelo are loyal to each other over me. So I probably would have fought my damnedest to get that W. And it was like
Say,
it was the final competition, dude. Like I would have had to, like I would have had adrenaline from winning my first competition. I would have wanted to keep going.
say you win, who would you take in that scenario?
Oh, you trying to get me in trouble?
Yes, I have to ask. I have to ask.
Oh, still Marcelo. I think Marcelo.
Even though you think that you would have been able to talk over the comp beast, you said?
I think I would have been able to talk over him, but AJ's also AJ and Sarah, it's like they're male and female version of each other. Smart. I feel like Sarah was like great in competitions. She did very, very well. So like, granted, I feel like I could have talked over him. I also feel like AJ could have talked his way into a win over me. Um, Basically explaining why he had to win so much, explaining what it wasn't just I don't think like it was just like just a win for him. It was like the target on his back from being safe so much. Like he kind of had to do what he had to do. So, but I say Marcelo because like me and Marcelo just like that's my bro, that's my sis. Like we're super, super close outside of this game. And I know taking personal relationships and putting them into a game, like it's a very tough thing. But like we just have a thing. And I know that Marcelo would have taken me. So I probably would have just returned the favor. I do believe AJ would have cut the hell out of me. So yeah, that's also another reason why I probably would have took Marcelo over AJ.
So in this past episode, there was a scene right towards the end of the strategizing portion where you and Taylor are sitting near the fireplace area. And it seems as if there might have been a conversation, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, about maybe you two flipping your votes onto Marcelo. Was that ever a possibility for you? And was that even a conversation?
It was a conversation. Taylor was really like pleading with me, like we came into this together. We should go out together as far as we can go. There's no need to turn on me. Um, and I just really felt like I was not going to win against her. Still, like I just felt like I'm not going to win against you, Taylor, if I go with you. And it like really sucked because like I know there was an easy out. Like Marcelo's voting for Taylor, AJ's voting for me. Let's two. Like we just need two. We can be the first season to not have a face off. But I don't know. Like I just again, once you're there, it's just like it's so much going on in your brain. We didn't have long to like really talk about that. And like I don't know. I kind of was like already just like set in my brain. And again, it was like this just like it was just like this undying loyalty I had to Marcelo that I just couldn't vote for him because I know vice versa he would not have voted for me, and like we've seen it, he voted for Taylor. So it kind of, and I honestly felt like if I would have did that and then I would have made it to the end, that who knows, like Marcelo could have been my make or break vote. So like I just didn't want to like dismantle what me and him had already built. Um, and then just in case I did win, like I wanted to make sure that like I had him. If he won the final three, he would bring me. So it was so many factors going
No,
into that.
yeah, I totally understand. Um, but it's a pressure cooker, the face off, right?
Yeah.
How tough was that? And then my follow-up question to that is, do you win that if you play with the Sox from the beginning?
I have, which people keep telling me like feet aren't that bad, but I've grown up with these feet. I know what they look like close up. The camera really didn't show the depths of my feet. So like I have, and you know what's crazy? I watched the Face Off challenge last season, so I know that this is like becoming like their staple face off. So I should have known, hey, you're gonna have to show your feet at some point. If you get to this point. So knowing that, I should have just been like, hey, just vote Marcelo so we don't have to even do this. I don't have to show my fucking feet. But I honestly wish I could rewind time because I would have just instantly took my socks off. I honestly feel like I could have beat her. If I would have took my socks off, I was very, very close. Um, I think because I took them off so late and I was panicking, I was kind of like in my head at this point. But yeah, I think if I would have took my shoes and socks off from the get-go, I could have won that. But also nerves had a big part to do with that.
I think that's why they do that competition because it's always so back and forth and it just brings the drama. And it was a nice close, a very close one again. I thought you were gonna fight through it with the socks on.
I was going to it first, but then when she kept knocking it over, I was like, all right, fuck this. Like, take my socks off, take my shoes off. And then I tried it with my socks, and I was like, no, take my socks off, like, because they're slippery. Let's try to do this. And I was confident at one point, like, you're about to win this. But yeah, Taylor got me.
Taylor got you, and that means that you go to the jury as the eighth juror, fourth placer of the season. Um, Rocky, you've made, third place the first time. You made it all the way really close to the end in All Stars, and then here you make it really close to the end. How tough is it just
Did
not
I
to be
tie my
able?
did I tie my placement from All Stars?
Maybe.
No, I think I was the fourth juror in All Stars too. Eight, maybe. Look at that. Uh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
How tough is it to get so close to the end but not have the ability to, talk about your game to potentially win,
This is
It's fucked.
it hurts. I think many people know in the org community, I call myself like the third place god, third place goddess. I've gotten third place like 6 times now. Uh, so
Damn.
um, getting yes, I always get cut like right before the end because I'm always like a jury threat. Sucks. But no, it's crushing. It's just a game, but like when you put so much into it, and you're like so close to that point, like it hurts. Like it, and then like you just start like replaying shit over and over and over again in your brain. Like I've literally been replaying like this episode, my boot, dreading it. Like I've been dreading this coming so much. Like, and ever since I've been just replaying over and over and over again, like everything that I felt like I did wrong. So like reliving it again, like I just got sad all over again last Thursday. I had like a moment afterwards, like, damn, like I kind of really fucked my game. Like I don't want to say I fucked my game, but I just feel like I could have made there were so many options and so many things that I could have done in that moment that I just feel like I just like dropped the bag on. But no, it hurts. It's tough to know that like I was there like yet again and so close to possibly winning the game. Of course, because when you go in the jury, everybody's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna vote for you," and it's just like I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that shit. So like it's really tough to deal with for a moment. Especially like a org is one thing, like it happens, you get to the finale, it's over. Like this was filmed, I knew it was coming already. So it was just like I dealt with it and then I had to like deal with it all over again. So I
Yeah.
was like now watching it and now talking to you about it, it's just like
Sorry.
no, you're fine. Yeah, it can it's tough, dude. Like that's all I can say. Like it hurts, it's tough. I'm a very competitive person. So like and I have yet to win. I won like one mini. Since I've started playing in 2018, I've won one mini. And I played like so many games. I just can't get that W. So like I'm thirsty for a win right now.
Well, Rocky, you're gonna get your win soon. I could feel it. You know, it was a pleasure watching you this season, but we're not finished watching you this season just yet. Tomorrow or Thursday, today, potentially when you're seeing this, you have a choice in who wins the game. Um, well, obviously can't really give away spoilers. Don't want to give away spoilers here, but what were you looking for with your final vote for when you cast for the winner?
For the winner, my final vote. Um, I'm kind of, and because it's these three, it's kind of like a show me for me personally, show me what you got. Like I was close to all three of you. Tell me why you should get my vote. But ultimately, somebody who like seriously like played the game, who knew what was going on. And I think these three are like probably the best at it. Like knowing what was going on, being in the know, having all the tea. Like we seen all their behind the scenes footage and like just their confessionals and stuff. So somebody who was like playing hard, not playing scared. Somebody, and then like that final speech like really does it for me. If you can like explain things that I didn't even know, because I'm close to all three of them at this point. So like if you can explain things to me that I didn't even know that you had a hand in, that kind of like tips the scale for me. I like people who like just like play the game. Like it's a game. And I know like everybody has their own strategy to get to the end, but for me, I like people who play like hard, who have no problem like making those moves and cutting your friends, even though I couldn't yeah, like I like people who play hard. So like for me, it's just like it's the overall package. Being social, being strategic, while also making those moves, while also being under the radar. Like it's the whole package.
Well, I look forward to seeing how you make your decision tomorrow night. Rocky, my last question for you is, what was your favorite part of the entire experience? Could be about the game, could be about the shenanigans after.
My favorite part of the whole experience is almost winning a individual captain's challenge, but flopping it because I wanted to have a huge number. For what reason? I don't know. I will be getting 358 merch soon. So you all can know that I don't know math. That probably was like my one of my favorite moments. And honestly, don't hate me, Emily, but Emily versus the Coliseum. You guys don't
You
even
kind of you kind
like
of stirred the pot a little bit.
we were up probably for about 2.5, 3 hours. Like what you all seen was not even the gist of it. We were up for a while with this whole Emily versus Ozzy versus everybody in the Coliseum. Don't like that Emily felt the way that she felt, but it was great entertainment. It was probably like one of the best moments of the season. And probably overall just like the spiciness of season three. Like not to toot our own horns, but like season two, what? Like we had the spiciness. Like it was argument after argument after argument. Like there's things that you guys didn't even see.
Oh,
The
sure.
after me and Josh argument, there was a lot of things said. That I'm kind of glad that was shown. Um, but overall, great experience. 10 out of 10. I encourage any and everybody to apply for future seasons of Ascendance Live. It's amazing. Hopefully, we see Duke on there one day. That would be great.
Maybe.
I can take over your podcast for you that season.
If you do that, maybe need
I
somebody to
would.
run it.
I would. If you went on, I would take over for you.
I might I might have to message you about that, but not on this. Rocky, I appreciate you coming on the podcast. Appreciate you playing this season. It was so much fun watching you. And I can't wait to see, the finale tomorrow.
All right. Good luck to all three. It's gonna be a good one.